Welcome into the Hawks Nest here on this Sunday afternoon for OCAA women's volleyball between the 3-0 Humber Hawks and the visiting Sault Cougars. It should be a good one here this afternoon. It's the second half of the back-to-back between these two teams, and we get it here this Sunday afternoon. Kyle Dalton alongside Andrew Milani here with you this afternoon. One of the rare single games. The men won't be playing after us, so the spotlight's on the women. Andrew here this afternoon, and they're looking to keep this win streak going to start the year.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. And, 3-0 to start the season, which is absolutely incredible. What we come to expect from the defending four-time provincial champions, as you can see on their screen, them and Niagara, only teams undefeated, but Humber has yet to drop a set. And, with Humber, it's the same story as always, the continuity, the players coming back. Look at a lot of returning players. Hannah Manners in her fifth and final year. But, of course, first-year player, Faith Hughes stealing a lot of the headlines. 45% swing percentage, so expect some big things from the 6'2" middle.
And Andrew, this is a new program on the Sault Cougar side in terms of a volleyball team. So they're making their first trip here to Humber. Didn't go their way yesterday in a 3-0 loss in terms of sets. They'll hope to get back on the win streak here today, and the Hawks will look to keep this going, as we will have OCAA women's volleyball here this afternoon, and we'll set it aside for our anthem.
And welcome back to the Nest here at the Humber Athletic Center for OCAA women's volleyball action between the visiting Sault Cougars and your Humber Hawks. It's time, we request you to please stand up if you're able and remove your hats for the play of the national anthem. Time to welcome your officials for the game. The line judges are Howard Binstock and Cheryl Lundrigan, second referee Andrew Chan, and the first referee Dwayne Ramash. Let's welcome the starting lineups for both the teams. Firstly, for the visiting Sault Cougars. Leading off from Sault Ste. Marie, 5'8", playing right side, number 3, Taryn Greco. From Sault Ste. Marie, 5'7", playing left side, number 4, Darby Sewell. From Guelph, Ontario, 5'9", playing middle, number 6, Avery Baxter. From Whitecoat, Alberta, a 5'8" setter, number 7, Peyton Baker. From Sault Ste. Marie, 5'9", playing middle, number 13, Addie Tremblay. And from Sault Ste. Marie, 5'9", playing left side, number 16, Liz Gavey. The liberos for the game, firstly from Beaumont, a 5'6", number 8, Alara Sheehan. And from Sault Ste. Marie, a 5'6", number 18, Sophie Lamore. The head coach for the Cougars is Becky Grisdale. All right, Hawks Nation, please welcome the starting lineups put together by the head coach, Chris Wilkins. Leading off from Sturgeon Falls, a 5'9", playing left side, number 4, Caitlin LaBelle. From Delhi, Ontario, a 6'2", playing middle, is number 6, Elena Hubbard. From Thornhill, 6'2", playing middle, number 9, Faith Hughes. From Sudbury, Ontario, a 5'11", playing middle, number 12, Amy Connolly. From Burlington, a 5'11", playing outside, number 14, Lexi Sikori. And from Calgary, Alberta, a 5'9" setter, number 16, Jessie McDonough. The liberos for the game, firstly from Oakville, a 5'8", number 8, Reese Cholette. And from Scarborough, a 5'2", number 1, Claire Ramos.
All right, well, there you go. The starting lineups are set, and we are just about set to get underway here this afternoon.
Humber relying on a lot of length here to start off. DeBach Hubbard and Faith Hughes, both 6'2" rookies standing in the middle, so it's going to be a little bit of an issue for Sault to contend with early on. We'll see how they deal with it.
Start with the proceedings
Second
of the game.
and final meeting of the season
First
between these two teams. Like we mentioned in the pregame,
is Humber's number 14.
they faced off yesterday, and Humber took that easily, you could say, a 3-0. And like Andrew mentioned at the start of the broadcast, yet to drop a set so far this season.
Looking to go 12-0 today. Humber to serve first.
And they'll start it off with Lexi Zakari on the line here. As we're underway here at the Hawks Nest, it's going to be a fault to start things off. So Sue gets our opening point.
Never the way you want to start a game, but there's going to be plenty of service errors here, so no need to worry. Just get back up and play the next point.
Here's a chance at the net, patted down, good dig on the other side by Baker as this one's hit long, and the Hawks get on the board for the first time here this afternoon.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscue there by the Sault Cougars to start off. Had possession there, but just could not get it in bounds.
It's a 1:08 start here this afternoon, but Andrew, in the gym, it's 2:08. They haven't updated the daylight savings time.
Daylight savings officially over.
As it's right up to the net, tapped up, controlled here by Sue off the bit of a free ball. Good dig on the other side by Zakari. Another good dig by Baker. And it's going to be a free ball here for the Hawks to set up. Back on the near side, blocked by Sue. And some miscommunication by the Cougars. The Hawks will take it. Not the cleanest first couple points here for both sides, but the Hawks will take advantage there.
Yeah, that'll go down as a violation against Sue as the lift over there. Humber really making Sue work for these early points so far. 2 on Hawks to start.
DeBach Hubbard with the good serve. It's a big hit from the behind the line, and that one's going to be way too long. So a couple early mistakes here for the Cougars, and the Hawks will take advantage.
Yeah, Sewell saw a little bit of daylight there. Going for that back line, but just missed it. A little too much on that ball.
a lot of first-year players on this Sioux team, which makes sense with the first year win women's volleyball, and they'll get a point. Another service error by the Hawks.
Yeah, Sioux really building this program from the ground level, it appears. Almost an entire team of fresh faces, just 2 beyond their first year of eligibility.
Good save there by LaBelle. Gillette sends it over. And right at the net, tipped over. Sioux caught a break there. They're just able to get it over, and a big time hit. That one's blocked to the net. Sioux controls. It's going to be a free ball here for the Hawks. Chance to set up. And a big time hit on the inside. And it's Amy Connolly. Andrew, she had a big game yesterday, 9 kills against Sioux. She picks up her first here this afternoon.
Yeah, and a big one right there. Aiming for that corner, and she made her shot there, giving Humber a 2-point lead here in the first.
And now she goes to the line. Connolly, big game yesterday. And the third service error already here to begin this one.
Yeah, that one looked good right up until the very end. It just got caught up in the tape, not high enough.
Humber had 12 service errors yesterday. They have 3 already, but that's a big time hit right at the top of that there by Faith Hughes.
Yeah, the first year player, again, all 6'2", down on that one for the big kill.
So that'll be the somewhat veteran here now, Caitlin LaBelle.
A very familiar face if you've been following the last couple years.
Here's a chance for Sioux at the net, and it's a nice finish there by, looked like Tremblay on the near side.
Yeah, got that one through the block. Humber looked like they were right there to defend that, but could not time that one perfectly.
So back and forth here to begin this one. 5-4 for the Hawks. Short serve dug out there by Gillette. It's sent over, nice block. And the net there by Baker. Humber keeps possession and finding the line once again. Faith Hughes back-to-back points.
Yeah, we talked about how her height and some of the other tall players here for the front line of Humber could be causing an issue for the Sioux Cougars, and her percentage has been pretty good here to start. We'll see if they feed her more of the ball as this one goes on.
Dug out there by Sheehan and tapped around. Connolly able to keep it alive. Somewhat of a free ball here for Sioux. As it's set up on the near side, tapped, caught a bit of the block. And that one off the fingertips of Baker and falls in. And the Hawks with a couple back-to-back points here, their largest lead of the game, it's 3.
And they rebounded really well from that miscue there. They just had to throw it over. It was a free play for Sioux, but they could not capitalize.
So Hughes continues at the line here. And it caught the line. A perfect spot by Hughes, and the first service ace of the game goes to number 9.
Yeah, from the service line, it's always going to be a big give and take. We saw a few errors early, but sometimes it's just going to go your way.
Both teams just settling in nicely right now. As Hughes with another good serve. Baker sets up on the far side there for Sewell, and it looks like it didn't catch any of the Hawks. So it's a 4-0 run here for Humber, and Hughes has been a big part of it. Good serve there. And it's set up again for Sewell at the net, tapped back over by Hughes, and here's Baker with the left hand. Good dig there by LaBelle. Off the block. Off the presence of Hughes and falls in. Tough break there for the Hawks, as it looked like it could have been maybe a free ball there, but Sioux comes away with the point.
Yeah, and they put that one right down the middle of the court. No one was home, and they just put one away and are back within 4.
Good serve there, right at the net by Hughes, and it's a nice block. It looks like that was Avery Baxter getting up there and coming away with a point.
Yeah, and that looked like it was going to be a beautiful setup for DeBach Hubbard. Looked like it was ready to go for a point, but a great block there by Sioux.
So Sioux with a couple points here to end that run, but it'll be stopped by a service error by Tremblay, so the Hawks will get that 4-point lead back. And McDonough will head to the line here for the first time today.
And this is the point in the set where really either of these teams got to really dig in and be careful.
Good setup there by Baxter. Dug out by Schlett, tapped over. Sue with the free ball with an opportunity here, and a nifty play by Peyton Baxter. Catches the Hawks off guard, and a 3-point lead now.
A great heads-up play, kind of fake the pass and throw it right over.
Good start here for Peyton Baxter. And now she's at the line with a lefty serve, but doesn't go. A service error for the Sioux.
And if Sioux continues to trail like this, you got to wonder at what point head coach Becky Grisdale is going to call her first time out.
And you're right, this is kind of that important spot of the set where it can maybe get away from Sioux here if they don't pick up a few points here. It's going to be a free ball for the Hawks. And a big setup there for Connolly, and she takes advantage. Her second kill of the game.
Yeah, got that one through the block, and another point here for Humber, up by 5. That's the most they've been up all set.
Mentioned Connolly with 9 kills yesterday, off to a good start here today as this one's tapped over. It's tapped around on the net, finally sent over on the other side there by Greco to keep it alive. No. And the point's going to go to Humber. Good effort there by Sioux to try to keep that alive. Wasn't the cleanest point there for Humber, but they'll take it.
Yeah, that one just kind of got away from Sioux. Another unforced error. But like you said, Humber will take it. Now up by 6. And about halfway to winning this first set.
And it looks like Becky Grasdale, head coach of the Cougars, wants some more information on why that was a point for Humber.
Because the play did seem to be blown dead a little early.
It did, as see there, Sewell was getting some information from the umpire. And you can see there, head coach Chris Wilkins looking on.
In his 24th year of work with the team, and an unprecedented run here with the Humber Hawks.
So pretty long conversation happening here with both officials, and the point's going to stay with the Hawks. Not much information being passed on to the Sioux side of things, but not much complained after that. So the Hawks will take it, lead by 6 here in the first set.
Yeah, I don't see how they were going to overturn that call.
That one's right into the net. Not the cleanest of things, and it's going to be a violation against Greco. Couldn't really do much with that one as Baker's pass was a little too close to the net.
And Becky Grisdale still keeping that timeout in her pocket. Humber doubling up. Sioux as this one goes on.
Not the best return there, but the Hawks send it right back over. Good dig by Humber, and it's set up here for Connolly again. Good block by Sioux as they set up right at the net, tapped over, and a good presence by Hughes and Connolly, and the Hawks will take it.
And there's that first timeout. And the right time here for Sioux as Humber was really starting to run away with this one. Everything was coming up Humber in those last few points, right, Kyle?
Yeah, and Sioux, they're getting their opportunities, but seems like their sets up to their big hitters are not finding the right spots right now, and it's given Humber the opportunity with that wall of Hughes and Connolly there. They put up, they tap it over, and it's really been the issue so far in the last few points as well.
Yeah, and I wonder if Humber's front line, DeBach Hubbard and Faith Hughes, kind of in the minds of these Sioux players, are trying to corral the ball over those two huge players in the middle. Can't be easy for the first-year program.
And we talked about it earlier, Humber taking 3-0 sets yesterday, and the first set was actually the closest of the 3 yesterday, 25-22, and then the second and third set rather, Humber really took over, 25-9, and then 25-13. So it seems like this first set here is kind of picking off the same momentum that was going on in that third and second set yesterday.
Yeah, and I mean, for Humber, we see that a lot with this team, especially last year, where the first sets are very tough, but then second and third, Humber can use a lot more of that depth, which is such a huge advantage for this team. And they're just able to get that over the other teams, then with not so much depth. Just using that to their advantage and just kind of wearing them down as the match goes on. We'll see if that happens here today.
Zakari on the line, out of the timeout. Set up here for Sewell. She's got to tap it over. Free ball here for the Hawks. It's Connolly again on the near side, and it's too hot to handle. Amy Connolly picking up right where she left off yesterday.
Yeah, she shot that one right to Sheehan, the libero, but she could not get down in time to get that dig.
So Humber comes away with a point out of the timeout.
And they're starting to run away with this first set.
Another good serve by Zakari. Set up from the back line, and it's a really nice hit there by Liz Gavey.
That one hits one of the national championship banners up there.
So Zakari will check out here. And that one wide on the serve. So the Hawks will take advantage on the service error, and they lead by 9 here, 8 points away from the set.
LaBelle content to let that one go, and no mistake there for her side.
Here's Hughes on the serve. Set up off the block, tapped around. Hughes with the throwdown, doesn't go. Good dig there by Sue, but a mistake. Connolly trying to take advantage. And another free ball here for Humber. They set up Connolly, another good block by Sue. And it's Baxter. Another one right at the net, good dig. As this one's tapped over. Another chance here for Sue, and another dig, this time by Hughes. She gets some support as it's a free ball now for the Cougars. Here's Greco, the opportunity. Did it hit anybody? It didn't. One of our best rallies of the game, but Hawks will take the point.
Yeah, I'd say that was the best rally of the day here so far. A lot of back and forth there. Each team getting the other one on the ropes at one point, but Humber coming up with it off that mistake.
DeBach Hubbard with the serve. Set up right at the net. Hughes was there as well, but that one just out of the reach of McDonough. And the Cougars end that 2-0 run there coming out of the timeout.
And still in quite a hole here, though, down by 9, and Humber's just 7 away from taking this first set.
Baxter at the line, but that one finds the net, her second service error of the game. And it's 19-9.
Wilkins and Sabo coming in for Humber. Keeping some of those starters fresh for the next set.
And Wilkins will go to the line. Well, the Hawks 6 points away from a dominant first set here. Dug out from the serve. Set up on the near side. And that's a good hit there by Tremblay. Gets the Sioux Cougars into double digits here in the first set.
Still trailing by 9 points here, though, in quite the hole. This point might be just about kind of just doing the little small things right and building some momentum for the second set.
Tremblay with 3 kills yesterday, picks up 1 there. Baxter, far side. Hawks will take control, but it goes into the nets. Back-to-back points for the Cougars, and they cut the lead to 8.
White-Eye looked like she had a great chance there, but put that one right in the net. And Sioux not out of it yet.
Greco at the line, but a long one there. The service errors for the Cougars creeping up here, kind of taking away some of that momentum that they're trying to build.
And another subs coming in here for Humber. LaBelle coming out for Bannister.
And Bannister will go to the line. Waiting for the official here. Get the substitutions going. And we're ready to go. Hawks 5 points away from this first set. Good serve there. Not a great return. Tapped at the net. Hawks will take it. Another chance. Good dig by the Cougars. Here's Gavey with an opportunity. Good dig there by Gillette. Set up, tapped around, and falls in. Faith Hughes coming away with a point.
Humber retakes that 10-point lead, now looking to put the closing touches on this first set. Just 4 points out.
Charlotte with a good dig on the back end of that point as this one goes off the libero Sheehan, and the Hawks will take with a service ace.
That one looked like it might have been going out.
Definitely was close, and the Cougars and head coach Becky Grisdale will use that timeout here with the Hawks 3 points away from picking up set number 1.
Yeah, and on those 50-50 balls, you have to make a judgment call, right? Is it going to be in or is it going to be out? You got a split-second decision to make. Usually players will just let that one go, but going for it there. We'll see if that backfires at all on Sioux down the stretch.
So the home opener weekend here for the Hawks. Start of the year on the road against Cambrian and Boreal, picking up a couple wins there. And then coming here yesterday with a home opener, picking up a win and hoping to keep that momentum going. They'll finish off the season 5 of their last 7 games of the calendar season until we hit to 2026 will be at home. So an opportunity to take some home wins here until the schedule starts to tighten up near the end.
Yeah, there's no place like home, especially for the Humber Hawks. We know how dominant they are in the Hawks nest. I mean, the way this team's rolling, it's going to be tough for teams to pick up individual sets, let alone match wins here. So hopefully the Hawks can keep this momentum rolling into the new year.
So 3 points away from set number 1. Bannister back at the line. Had a good serve on her first attempt. This one catches the top of the net, but still heads over. Baxter set up, dug out, and sent over for the Hawks for a free ball. Quickly at the net, tapped around, and a big time hit there. First point of the game for Lexi Sabo.
Yeah, perfect ball there by Sabo. Put that one right into the block, and not much that the Sioux players could have done about that one. Just kind of found its way onto the ground.
So 2 points away here, and they're going to be 1 point away as they get a little bit of a break there off the air from Sewell. And we've got our first set point of the match.
And when it rains, it pours. Sometimes just all that momentum swings to one side, and could be end of the set here right now.
Another good serve. Baker of the net. Good dig. That was by Bannister, and it's going to be a free ball here for Sioux. Looking to keep the set alive. It's tapped over, and a nice play by number 7, Peyton Baker. Keeps Sioux alive here in the first set.
Yeah, Cholette was right there, but just couldn't make a play on it. And this set will continue for at least 1 more point.
Liz Gavey at the line. It's a high arcer. Good dig there by Schlett, right of the net, and falls in. Sabo with a couple points coming into the set. And the Hawks take set number 1, 25-12. It was close at the beginning, Andrew, but the Hawks really pulled away, scoring majority of the points and taking this one very comfortably.
Yeah, Sioux was doing a good job early in that set, kind of keeping up with Humber, but at a certain point, Humber was just finding where those weak points were in the Sioux side, and Sioux did themselves in a little bit as well with some of those unforced errors, and before you know it, Humber was up big, and really they never looked back.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how many of those unforced errors we saw from Sioux. They had some good opportunities around that 11-12 mark of that first set. It was a decently tight set to begin, but then a lot of the errors from Sioux started creeping up, and gift credit to the Hawks as well, picking up a few points as we get a look here at the little tap there by Baker to keep that set alive. The Hawks ended up finishing off the set, but another comfortable one for Humber, kind of picking off where they left off yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely, and I mean, that's now 10 sets in a row, 10-0 to start the season for the Humber Hawks. The provincial champions, the 4-time defending provincial champions, looking to build up momentum here as the season goes on. The national championship still eludes them, so hopefully another win on the road to that first championship this year.
And it doesn't seem like the Hawks are too upset with that Game 7 yesterday, Andrew, after coming up with a huge win here. They're obviously not too upset with yesterday. Really, they took some of that frustration out that we saw yesterday.
Either way, they got it going here on the court today.
Yeah.
A little bit of dance moves there in the huddle by Amy Connolly. Clearly not broken up too much over that game last night.
No, I think, hard to get up this morning for sure,
Oh, yeah.
So, but going back to this one, it's a good way for Humber to kind of start on the home. They're facing a Sioux team. Let's be frank here, they're a young team. They're a young program, obviously just getting started.
Upstarts, yeah.
Yeah, so the Hawks are taking advantage of an opportunity here to get off to a good start on the season. They beat Cambrian, who's a good team, one of the top teams in the West Division right now. Boreal, who's struggling as well. So, the meat of the schedule is going to come later on the season. So it's important to pick up these early wins here in the start of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you can only beat who is in front of you, but at the same time, you got to be careful to not let these games get away from you. And just make sure you're off on the right foot. You don't let things snowball too badly, and you let things snowball in a good direction, right, where everyone's going their way. And there's obviously going to be adversity along the way, but just about how you deal with it, right? And we're getting ready for set number 2. Humber ready to go, and so is Sioux.
So 25-12. And Ramos and Chalette waiting for the official to make the sub. And
Humber making some changes here with their starters this set. Ramos Sabo, and Wiseman both starting this one. They, again, that first set on the bench.
You talked about earlier the depth of the Hawks, and it's on display here to begin the second set.
Strength in numbers.
Baker kicks off the set, and a little bit of a mishit there for the Hawks. And Sioux will pick up the first point of the set, just like they did in set number 1.
The official saying that one was not redirected, so point Sioux.
Baker again, the lefty. It's LaBelle from behind the line. Good dig there by the Cougars. Right at the net, tapped around, and not high enough there on that one from Darby Sewell. And the Hawks tied up early in this second set.
Yeah, and a big block there sent Sioux kind of reeling. They didn't really have an answer for that one. They misplay it right there. All of a sudden, it's tied.
And that'll send Sabot to the line. Dug out there by Sewell for Sioux, and another good dig tapped around. It'll be a free ball here, but the Hawks keep it alive. Baker over on that far side, and a good hit there by Greco off the block and out, and Sioux regains the lead.
Yeah, Humber was there right away for that block, but could not just redirect that one in.
Taryn Greco with the point.
Sioux going punch for punch here with Humber so far.
Set up in the net, that's a big one. And a nice response by Faith Hughes. She had a big first set and keeps this going here.
And that one labeled right for Shiem, the libero. Once again, we saw a play like that in the last set. Just could not get down to dig that one in time.
And it's Connolly now at the line. As we get a look here at the big hit. And that's served by Connolly is long. So the Sioux will regain the lead. Saw Humber pick up their service game. After those first few points, they had a few errors, and they really picked up their servers near the end of that first set.
Yeah, we see this time and time again with the Hawks where it takes them a little bit to warm up after the start of the set, but once they get going, man, tough to stop them.
And it's LaBelle who will be on the back end of that point, picks it up as the Cougars couldn't get to it. And now LaBelle will go to the line here. Hawks still seeking their first lead of this second set. Still early, of course. And they'll have to wait a little bit longer as the service error from LaBelle.
And each team just really trading points here to start off this set. And you can go glass half full if you're Sioux here and say, hey, we're up by 1 on Humber, but if you want to win this, you got to pile up some points here in a hurry, especially in the Hawks next.
And here's a chance of the net. It's a big time hit by Wiseman, who comes away with her first kill of the game. She didn't have one yesterday, but she picks up a big one there.
Let's see if Humber can get the first point streak of the set going.
Hughes has had a good game as this one's tapped around. Back at the net. It's going to be a free ball here for the Sioux. Baker, the running hit there from Tremblay, but it finds the net, and the Hawks have their first lead of set number 2.
And the first of back-to-back points by any team here in this set. And let's see if Humber can keep this roll going.
Hughes back at the line. Strong performance from Hughes to begin the game as it's a long one there. LaBelle controls that one easily. Tapped over. Maybe not the cleanest play, but it works out. Sabo picks up another point.
And that one, oh, sorry, I was going to say that one looked like it went off the hand of Tremblay. Looked like it might have been playable, but she accidentally kind of swatted that one down.
Hawks will take advantage of that for sure, as this one will go long from Hughes. And now she'll check out. Ramos comes in. And it's Gavey at the line for Sioux, who trail by 1. This is kind of the point of that second set. We saw Humber start to pull away as a big-time shot, and it's Wiseman again. Another point for Ava Wiseman, and the Hawks lead by 2.
Yeah, hot shot there by Wiseman. Sioux had no answer for that one. Got the block there, but just could not kind of corral that one to go where they wanted it to. Just deflected straight out of bounds.
And that serve is wide by McDonough. And Andrew, we got another look quickly here at the nice spot by Wiseman off the block.
Yeah, great angle there. And Baker was there, but cannot keep that one in.
It's set up for Wiseman again, and just long as they're trying to feed the hot hand right now, but that one just a tad long by Wiseman.
Yeah, tough shot though, going cross court diagonally from front to back. Cannot get that one to fall in, and all of a sudden Sioux's got a couple points here in a row.
Looking for the cross court there, couldn't get it. Hawks set up here with the shots tapped around. I think we might have had a violation, and we do on the side from Sioux, so the Hawks will take the point, and they regain the lead.
Yeah, big blow for Sioux there. You had some momentum going this set. Looking for another lead, but could not capitalize.
See if Sioux can kind of keep this close throughout this set. Good serve there by Wiseman. And it's set up in the net, and it's Connolly again. Finds the hole between the blocks, and the Hawks lead by 2.
Looking good here so far. A hot hit there, and just unable Wiseman to the line.
Wiseman had a good serve on the last one, and another good one there. It's a battle of the net, but it falls in on the Sioux side with the presence of LaBelle. Got another look here.
Yeah, and that last play, Baker just could not get that ball to go her way, could not time that one well, and another point here for Sioux. This one very tight here to start the second.
Wiseman with a good run there, but that one finds the net, and that'll send Peyton Baker to the line. It's a good serve, a deep one. LaBelle controls it. Now she'll get an opportunity, kept alive by Sioux. Here's a chance now, dug out there by Ramos. Here's LaBelle right at the net, and it falls in out of the reach of the Sioux defender, and LaBelle finishes off that one.
Yeah, what a powerful strike on the ball there by LaBelle. Was painted right there for that back line. We had a player there for Sioux right there, but came so fast she could not make a play.
That'll send Sabo to the line, off the net. Sioux keeps it alive, a tap at the net, a lot of contact. And it's gonna be Connolly who gets called with the violation. There was a good amount of contact at the net there, Andrew, but the umpire is gonna go with a violation on Connolly as trying to listen into what LaBelle was saying, and Coach Chris Wilkins not too happy with that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem too content with that explanation. Nonetheless, we continue.
Another good serve by the Cougars. This LaBelle again, and that one is spot on by Caitlin LaBelle, just over the net and falls in. And the Hawks will take that one after a little bit of controversy and lead by 3.
Let's see if Humber can kind of use that negative energy as kind of fuel here to try and get going.
And it's Connolly at the line, up by 3. And that one looks like it falls in, and it does. On the line for Amy Connolly, a perfect spot.
Beautiful serve there, just caught that back line. What else could he ask for from the 5th and final year player here?
And this was kind of the point where Humber pulled away in that first set. They're on track to doing it again. Here's a chance now for Greco, tapped over. Connolly scoops it up. Set up for LaBelle again. Dug out by the Cougars. This one's tapped over, falls. It was sitting on the net for a second there, and Connolly just has to send it over. Set up here, right at the net, another tap. Connolly again controls. It's a quick one at the net. Dug out by the Cougars. Baker, and she touched the net. Not much she could have done there. And it's the Hawks, big hitters, who come with the point.
Yeah, unfortunate break there for Sioux. This is maybe the greatest rally of the entire match here, but for it to end on a violation against Sioux, that's heartbreaking. Now they find themselves down by 5. Let's see if this Humber roll can continue.
Might see a timeout here if the Hawks run continues. It looks like it's going to be another free ball, and it will be. Connolly up at the net. Another good hit by Hughes. Sioux will control. Wiseman near side for LaBelle and spots the line. Caitlin LaBelle with a perfect shot and a timeout on the floor here as the Hawks lead is 6 here. Or it looks like we might have got a timeout.
Becky Grisdale is calling a timeout.
And there you go. I think she did the signal about 4 or 5 times before it was awarded, and the Hawks had their largest lead of the second set after a big-time point from Caitlin LaBelle.
And right on cue, this is the same time last set where Becky Grisdale called that timeout when Humber got to that 15-point mark. And just like that last set, you're really feeling after a little bit of a back-and-forth start, Humber really starting to run away with things. Kind of the snowball going downhill effect is in full effect for this Hawks squad. And that depth really paying off for this team, and Sioux just looking for answers.
Looking for answers indeed, and you know, the Cougars, they've had their chances for sure, but the Hawks are just so deep and they have that steady presence that they won't let a set kind of get away from them. And that's shown here, especially in the second set when it was tight for the first portion of that set, and like you said, they've started to pull away here.
Yeah, and for Sioux, a few of the unforced errors have gotten away from them and made things just a little bit more difficult. And for Humber, you can't give them anything. They're a team where you gotta almost play perfectly against them, especially here in the Hawks nest. So, you know, as you can see there, Humber girls having a lot of fun dancing in front of the camera.
Feeling good here. Looking to sweep this back-to-back against the Sioux Cougars. And it's Wilkins at the line. Out of the timeout. Set up here at the top, off the block and tapped around off the microphone and falls in. Off the hand there of Tristan Kerr, who checks in for the first time, number 17 there for the Hawks. And it'll send Avery Baxter to the line for the Cougars, down by 5, and that one will be too long.
Yeah, that one missed by about 3 feet or so.
So Tremblay checks back in for the serve now.
And this is a crucial point for Sioux. Humber's 6 points ahead and 9 points away from taking this first set. Got to find a way to close the gap.
Pardon me, that was White Eye with the serve, and it comes away with the point on the Sioux side. And the Cougars sticking around here in this second set. They only got 12 points in that first set. They're up to 11 now here and stuck 5. Greco with the serve. Right of the net is Hughes, and a big-time block. This time it's Tremblay for the Cougars, and the lead's cut to 4.
Yeah, just like that, Sault looks like they're climbing right back into this match. This next point, absolutely massive.
Good serve there by Greco. And it's Hughes who comes down and throws it down, using all that 6'2" height and throwing it down with a point.
Yeah, I found that little bit of sunlight there in that Sault side. Greco gave it a good attempt there with that dive, but could not keep it up with the dig.
Really nice play by Hughes. She's had herself a nice game so far. It's free ball here off the serve for Humber. Kerr couldn't get the setup she wanted, and she hit the pole there on the net.
Yeah, a little bit of an awkward play there by Kerr. Looked like she was just mistimed where that ball was going and put it right into the post.
So it's a 4-point lead. Hawks 8 points away. Going up 2-0 now. Ramos, first touch off the serve, set up at the top. Dugout. Baker will tap it over. We've seen that a few times here in this one by Peyton Baker. A nifty play, and it's a 3-point game.
And Sault finding ways to hang around here in the second set. Successful timeout called by Becky Grisdale. Hats off to her.
Baker's had some struggles with the setup, so this time she taps it over. It's gonna be a free ball here for the Cougars. Baker up at the net for Tremblay, didn't get all of it, and it's Wiseman, and no, it's long, didn't touch anybody, and just like that, 3 straight points for the Cougars, and it's a 2-point game.
And you gotta wonder if these next couple points get away from Humber, if Chris Wilkins is gonna have to dig in and use one of those timeouts.
Quickly at the net, tapped over. Humber will take it. A nice nifty play there by Sabo.
Great heads-up play there, and Amy Connolly and Jesse McDonough coming in.
Yeah, wasn't
starters to help close out this set.
Yeah. As we'll get another look here, Andrew. Not the best setup, but good play by the Hawks to still come away with the point.
It's about making the right plays at the right time, and that was the right play.
And that one is wide of the line from Jesse McDonough on the serve. So it's back to a 2-point game here. Give credit to Sault. They've stuck around here. Tremblay at the line, and that one a missed opportunity there for the Cougars.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rainbow shot. Weren't able to tell until the last second whether that was staying in or out. Humber content to let it go, and that was the right call.
Wiseman, good set for her coming off the bench. And it's gonna be a free ball here. Ramos with the first touch. Up at the net, Connolly, and it's long. And the Cougars bring it back to a 2-point game.
Yeah, big misfire on that shot. Going for that back line, but way overshot it.
Here's Baker at the line. Lofty serve falls in, set up for Sabo at the top. Sault will take advantage, and they don't, as a golden opportunity with the free ball for Sewell, but didn't get the right contact.
And Sault doing a good job hanging around here, but running out of opportunities here. Humber just keeps rallying up points.
Long one there. Good defense by the Cougars. And tapped around. It was a miss set up there for the Hawks, and the Cougars catch a break.
Yeah, miss hit there by McDonough. Tried to milk out one last hit there, but a bit of a miss hit. She probably would have been better off to just toss it over and give Sault a chance.
So a 2-point game here in the second set. Big one off the net there and falls in for White-Eye. Picks up her first point of the game, and it came at a big moment there. Easily could have been a 1-point game right now.
And Sault, though, they're in a tough spot. They basically got to go 2 for 1 to win this set.
Good serve there by Connolly. Tapped over. Bit of a free ball here for the Hawks. They'll tap it over. Dug up by the net. Tapped around and falls in. As another nice play there by Wide-Eye, who drops it in.
Humber's been doing a good job all match of finding that soft spot in the Sioux defense right up in front of that net, and we've seen a few times where Sioux's been kind of reeling, trying to get that ball back over.
Connolly with a good serve. Here's a chance at the net there for Gavey, but not going to work out. And the Hawks pulling away here, and we're going to get another late timeout by Becky Grisdale and the Cougars here, who they were right there, 2-point game.
And we'll see if, sorry.
No, suddenly it's right up to 5 right after that.
Yeah, but this last timeout could be a little bit too little, too late for Sioux, as that replay there, Liz Gavey putting that one right in the net. And Sioux needs to be absolutely almost perfect here. They're only afford to give up 1 more point, and they got to score at least 7 to win this set. First to 25 here, but of course you got to win by 2, and Humber in great shape to do that right now. Look at Chris Wilkins giving the final directions to his team, just looking to close out this second set, go up 2-0. And we know how hard it is to come back from 2-0 in volleyball, especially in the Hawks' nest.
The Hawks took control of that first set, 25-12, pretty easily. The Cougars have given the Hawks a run for their money here throughout this second set, but give credit to the Hawks. They've pulled away here when it's truly mattered. And now, like you mentioned, 2 points away, and Sioux got to be perfect here. So it'll be Connolly at the line. I'm sure she would love to close out this set with a couple serves.
And Sioux all out of timeouts here in this set.
A good serve there by Connolly. It'll be a free ball here for the Hawks, looking to get set point. Set up for Sabo there. And a tap off the block. Good scoop there by the Cougars. It'll be another free ball for the Hawks. Wiseman again for Sabo, and it drops in. Big time hit. Or pardon me, that was Faith Hughes who comes away with a point.
We talked about how much of a problem she could be off the top of the show here. And boy, has she ever. And a chance here for Humber to close out the second set, go up 2-0.
Connolly with set point. Baker. It's going to be a free ball here. Good play there by Ramos. Set up here and can't keep it alive, as a nice play there to tap that one in by Wide-Eye, who made an impact late in this second set. And the Hawks win this one 25-18. And Andrew, keep that undefeated streak going to start the season.
11-0 in terms of win-loss in sets to start the year for Humber. And just one more here to close it out and remain perfect, not only match-wise, but set-wise. And their look at Payne Baker's attempt there to keep that set alive, just could not get there in time. And Sioux's gonna have to really dig in here and give it their all if they want to come back and never mind win the game, just force a fifth set here at the Hawks' nest.
Yeah, something they would love to do here to give themselves an opportunity. They had their chances in that second set, but the Hawks take advantage of errors, and they took advantage of a few mistakes late in that second set.
And Humber showing really why they're the defending 4-time champions here. In a lot of ways, you got to make your own opportunities, but of course, when the other team makes mistakes, got to capitalize, and that's what Humber's done all game long. Haven't been perfect, but certainly been good enough here today.
Good enough indeed. And it's the depth of the Hawks that continues to be on display. It's almost like year after year, they bring in new players who make direct impacts. And it's on full display here this afternoon and this weekend, for that matter.
And that's credit to head coach Chris Wilkins and his staff, of course. I mean, the reigning Ontario Women's Volleyball Coach of the Year, doing it once again here. The drive for 5 is on for Humber, and of course, the search for that first national championship. No school, no women's volleyball program from Ontario has done it. And it would be a great notch on the belt for Wilkins to be the first to do it for Humber.
And you know they want to do it here. You know, that's why the regular season is so important. You come away with the top seed in the league, and it's coming through the Hawks Nest. So, you know, all these games and all these sets, once it gets even if there's an opportunity where there's a tiebreaker, that's why all these sets are so important, no matter if it's November, October, or January, February, every set matters.
Oh, absolutely, and I mean, that's the way this team plays. You can see it in every point that they come out there on the court. Just give it their all, do their best, and eventually these good things will just add up, and you'll have a good record on your hands, or a great record on your hands, as these Hawks do so far.
So we're just about set to get going here for set number 3. First set was 25-12. A pretty comfortable first set. Second set, a little closer, as we talked about. But the Hawks able to pull away late. And they'll hope to sweep the weekend here. And it starts off with a service ace. And it's Zakari on the back end of that to begin set number 3.
Very odd start to this set here. Looked like that was a very playable one for Sheehan, the libero, but just could not get down there for the dig. Either way, 1-0 Humber to start.
Hawks will take it for sure. Zakari with the serve, and that one is too long by Darby Sewell. So a 2-0 start here for the Hawks.
Yeah, that's not something you can do in the Hawks Nest. Just give away points to Humber early. They'll run away with it if you keep letting them do that.
And we saw first 2 sets were close at the start, and it's the opposite here in set number 3 as Caitlin LaBelle gets up and puts it down for a 3-0 start.
They say roll Hawks, and these Hawks rolling here early on here. A great heads-up play there by Caitlin LaBelle to just flip that ball down. A little bit of the Jake Gomes special.
Indeed, as LaBelle has had a good game here this afternoon, and Hawks get a free ball looking to go 4-0 to start the set, and they will. It's LaBelle again with back-to-back points, and the Hawks lead by 4.
And this is some roll Hawks continue to get on here. Another playable ball for Sault. That one just got away from them, deflected out of bounds.
Great start for Zakari on the line in this third set, and just giving her the jinx there, 4-0. And now it's a 4-1 lead, but a good stretch there for Zakari.
The old commentator's curse strikes again.
Can you do? Just gotta stop talking once in a while, you know? Maybe that'll help.
Oops, except that's her job. Oh well.
LaBelle sends over the free ball for the Cougars. This one's tapped to the net. Good presence there by Hughes, but it falls just wide. And back-to-back points for the Cougars.
Some much-needed points for the Cougars right there. They'll send Darby Sewell to the service line. Looking to add to a little bit of that momentum. Cut into that Humber lead. And they do.
And they do indeed. 3 straight points for the Cougars. A nice response after the Hawks had a streak of their own. 4-0 to begin the set.
Big chance here to tie up the set.
Sewell, good serve there. Ramos with a nice dig right at the net. And it throws it down. Sabo ends that mini run there for Sue. And Andrews having another look at this one.
Yeah, you can see Sabo just kind of hung up there in the air. That was from the previous play where it got hung up in the net. But Sabo flew up in the air before and kind of got all down on that ball. It was a sight to behold.
A little bit of a nice hit there. Looked like it might have been a free ball opportunity for the Hawks, but a really nice play on the back end of that play by Levesque.
Yeah, great heads-up play there.
Found a perfect spot. Chance now, and finding the line again. It's Sabo once again.
Great job to go cross court there. Those could be tough shots because you don't have as much real estate going north-south as you do north-south compared to east-west, but she made that one count.
Pardon me, that was DeBach Hubbard with a nice point there. And now she's at the line. That one goes a bit long.
Sue hanging around.
So Elena DeBach Hubbard with the air after coming up with that nice kill. Ramos right at the net. This one falls in, and a nice tap by Faith Hughes. Hawks lead by 2.
It's not always about power. Sometimes it's about a little bit of that soft touch, a little bit of the finesse there, and Faith Hughes made it count right there.
The veteran LaBelle at the line. Tapped around. This one's got to be over. Let's see if they do, and they won't. Too many touches, and not over the net for the Cougars.
Another unforced error there for the Sioux Cougars. These are starting to add up here. And in the wrong time as well, third and potentially final set here.
Not much margin for error if you're the Cougars right now, and that'll be another for the Sioux, and an early timeout here as Becky Grisdale can feel this one slip away here after Sioux did a good job coming back from that 4-0 start from Humber. That leads right back up to 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to come into the Hawks nest like we keep saying, but look at that last point. Big swing and a miss there by Addie Tremblay. And this is the earliest that we've seen Becky Grisdale call that timeout. Usually in the first couple sets it was at that 15-point mark, but she clearly didn't like how this one was going. They got a minute here to try and clean things up and just try and put your players' minds at ease. They've done a lot of good things here, but they've done a few bad things here, and they've started to snowball here in a hurry, and it's been just a Humber's advantage here, and they've cleaned up on all those mistakes early this afternoon.
So timeout just wrapping up here. The Hawks started off this set on a 4-0 run. The Sioux Cougars responded to cut the lead to 1. Like you mentioned, Hawks taking advantage of some of the Sioux errors, leading by 4. LaBelle back at the line out of the timeout. Good serve. Free ball here for the Hawks out of the serve, and they take advantage once again. Faith Hughes. And the Hawks grow their lead to 5.
That one labeled right for the libero, Alara Sheehan. But that one too hot to handle, and all that she could do was deflect that to the back wall.
Another critical mistake there for the Cougars, and the Hawks take advantage. And there's another one that the Hawks will take. That first touch seems to be an issue for the Cougars here so far.
Yeah, it certainly has been, and another point here where it looks like this snowball continues to roll downhill for the Humber Hawks. Set high 6-point lead, trying to make it 7.
Gave credit to LaBelle. Great serve so far. Another good one there, and some miscommunication. It's going to be a free ball for the Hawks. Set up here, big time shot, and no, it's wide. Hawks thought they got it at first, but that one just wide there by Zakari.
Yeah, that was a close one for sure.
So we will get a substitution here for the Cougars. Haley DeVoe checking in, number 12.
One more look at this missed ball. Oh yeah, that missed by about a foot.
Just wide there. Ramos will go right back to her, and this time Zakari finds the line, and it's 12-6 now, largest lead of the set.
Zakari, just a woman on a mission there, went up and she knew right where she was putting that ball. No mistake for the point. Humber doubles up Sioux as we stand.
That's what you want to see. They go right back to Zakari after the miss, and she takes advantage. And that serve just a tad long from Hughes, so she'll check out here. Ramos back in. 12-7 here in this third set as that slow serve by Tremblay couldn't find the other side of the court. As we approach the hour mark here of this one. And another service error. Both teams trading service errors. That's 3 in a row. And 13-8 now.
Humber making a substitution. Taya Wilkins coming into this one.
LaBelle. And set up here. Dug out by the Cougars. Baker over on the far side there. And the Sioux Cougars, after Sibinek comes away with the points, her first of the match, and that'll send Baker to the line.
And a big roar for them after they get that point. Trying to grab some momentum here.
Nice serve by Baker, nice play by LaBelle to keep it alive. Tapped over. They set up right at the net. Not the strongest contact. LaBelle controls. Tapped over. Good support by the Cougars, but it's going to be free on the other side. Another good dig. Ramos set up at the top, but the timing just a little bit off on the Hawks side, and the Cougars will take that one after some good back and forth.
Just an errant attempt to flip that one over the net. Could not get it over. Sioux hanging around here, only down by 3.
Good dig by LaBelle once again. Set up big time for Zakari. Doesn't come through. And back-to-back points here on the back there of Avery Baxter. And just like that, Andrew, our lead is cut to 2.
Starting to feel the momentum swing a little bit here as Sioux climbs closer and closer.
Big point here. Baker with a good serve. Ramos digs it out. Set up here for Zakari. Good support by Sheehan. Sent over. Ramos will play it. Set up at the top and back-to-back miscommunication plays for the Hawks at the net. And the Cougars taking advantage of a couple miscues.
Chris Wilkins keeping that timeout in his pocket despite Sioux coming all the way back within 1 point.
He's not going to be too happy with some of those plays. Good dig by Ramos. Tap to the net. We've got a net violation. Hawks catch a break there because that looked like the Cougars were going to take advantage, but a violation.
Yeah, no kidding there, Kyle, and we'll see if that does anything to put something out to the Sioux momentum swing that we've seen here. Humber making a substitution here. Lauren Bannister back in the game.
And that serve, I don't know if that was on purpose, but Bannister finds a perfect spot. She's had a good game since coming in off the bench.
I will bet you that was not on purpose, but she will take it, that's for sure.
One of those you'll just take no matter what, as another good serve by Bannister. Here's a big hit, good block by the Hawks, and just wide. Nice play by the Cougars to communicate that, as that one fell in just outside of the line.
Sioux finds their way back within 2 points.
So Taylor DeVoe at the line, getting her first action in the third set. It's set up here for LaBelle. Good block, but it's wide. As LaBelle with a strong hit there, and the Hawks lead back to 3 here.
LaBelle was careful not to touch that one, making sure that it was blast off the Sioux Cougars, so Humber could get the point.
So here's Sabo. The line for Humber. That serve's going to be long. So the Cougars just hanging around here on this third set. 16-14. Baxter with the serve. Sets up for LaBelle. Did it hit anybody? It did, off the fingertips there of the block. And LaBelle with another big-time point.
This is do or die time, here for the Sioux Cougars. Humber 8 points away, and you're 3 points back of them. So almost a 2-for-1 points got to go for here.
What a serve by DeBach Hubbard, just over the net. And it's a perfect serve from DeBach Hubbard. And the Hawks now, their largest lead of the set, or matched it. And that one will grow it. It's DeBach Hubbard with back-to-back service aces. And the Hawks lead by 5.
And Sue making a substitution here. Levesque coming out of the game. And Liz Gaby coming back in, the starter.
DeBach Hubbard on fire from the line. This one's a slow one, and it goes off the net, tapped around. Cougars somehow get it over. It's set up for LaBelle with a big-time shot off the block and wide. Caitlin LaBelle with another big-time kill. And the Hawks, Andrew, 5 points away from sweeping the weekend.
Yeah, and Jessica Sabenig knew she made a mistake there. Tried to get a hold of that one, but could not make a play there.
Another free ball for Humber from the back line. Just a little long there by Zakari.
Was a good opportunity there, but Sue kind of forced it to Humber. And had to make a quick play there to set it up. Not quite able to set it up at the net. And Sue just took advantage there with the mistake.
Yeah, that was actually Bannister with the hit from the back. So like you said, Humber can't take advantage there, but they still lead by 5. And a nice serve there. Just checking into the game was Juliette Lamour, and she comes up with a nice serve. Cougars would love a couple like that. Instead, this one is long.
Wonder when Becky Grisdale's going to use the second timeout. Trailing 5 points here. Humber just 4 points away from victory.
LaBelle, good serve. Dug out by the Cougars here. It was rolling on the net. Cougars will get another opportunity. This one's tapped over. See if the Hawks can control. It's tapped around. Nice play at the net by Wilkins.
Great heads-up play there, Taya Wilkins. A quick little flip up above the net to kind of force their Sioux hand, and they had no answer there. Becky Grisdale taking that second and final timeout here of the set. Humber just 3 points away from victory.
And a nifty play by Wilkins. Big smile as she heads back to the bench after that nice point, which has given her team a 22-16 lead and 3 points away here, Andrew, from a pretty successful little back-to-back weekend games.
Yeah, and how things change here in a hurry in this third set. Humber was up by just 2 points, 16-14. All of a sudden now it's 22-16, and Humber just a few points away from putting this one away.
So the Hawks will have about 10 days off here until their next game. They will host Conestoga on the 12th of November. That's next Wednesday. As another good serve, the Cougars all over the floor to keep it alive, and it's just long. Good effort there by the Cougars. But a nice eye by LaBelle on the back end of that.
And that one just missed that back line by a couple inches there. Great heads-up play there by the Hawks to let that one go. I guess when you're up by 6 points, you can afford to let some of those 50-50 balls go and let the volleyball gods decide. LaBelle's
had a really good third set here. Looking to close it out at the line. This one's tapped over, and a nice play by Greco to find a hole. So they stay alive. momentarily. Scored 18 points in the second set, Sioux did, so they're hoping to at least beat that number here as Ramos Wilkins set up here for Wiseman, tapped around. This one's gonna be a free ball for the Hawks. Ramos back on top of the net, and a big time hit by Faith Hughes, who comes up with another kill, one of her best performances of the year.
Yeah, certainly so, and certainly a huge performance by her here today.
And we've got a match point here, Andrew, 24-17. And it's Hughes at the line. Good dig here. It's going to be another free ball. Hawks set it up. Wilkins tapped to the net. Sabo sent that one over, and it's another free ball here for the Hawks. LaBelle, Wilkins, Sabo at the net, but couldn't get it over. A good presence by the Cougars, and they stay alive and save a match point.
That ties the set high here today, 18. That was their total in the last set. Looking to surpass that here.
Serve goes over. Ramos, Wilkins. Here's Wiseman, and that'll do it. The Hawks sweep the weekend and sweep the Sioux Cougars, and their perfect record in terms of wins and sets, Andrew, will continue to grow here in this 2025-2026 season as the Hawks take this one in straight sets here this afternoon.
Another 3-0 victory for the Hawks at the Hawks Nest. 25-12, 25-18, 25-18, and there were a few moments here where Sioux looked like they could be clawing back into this one, but Humber held strong and never looked back and let that snowball roll downhill for another 3-0 victory.
A couple of great performances here tonight, or today rather, for the Hawks. Caitlin LaBelle with a big-time third set to really seal the deal. We saw Faith Hughes was probably the best player on the floor from the beginning of the game all the way to the end, and a really nice performance by her.
Yeah, I'd say so. She was quite the matchup problem. I mean, doing it with power, doing it with finesse, some big blocks as well, every which way. Just a complete player and a complete performance we saw here this afternoon.
So we'll see who the player of the game is officially. So the player of the game will go to Jessie McDonough, who also had a really nice performance as well. And the Hawks will pick up the win as they move to 3-0, Andrew, and a nice start to their season.
4-0 on the season.
4-0 rather, 4-0.
And a perfect 12-0 sets to start. And we'll see how they do 10 days away when they play the Conestoga Condors, looking to extend their record to 5-0. Of course, en route to hopefully a 5th provincial championship in a row.
So a nice start to the home season for the Hawks, 2-0 on the weekend, and like you mentioned, Conestoga in about a week and a half from today. That'll do it for us here at the Hawks. Hawks Nest, they win this one 3-0 in straight sets. My broadcast partner, Andrew Milani, and everybody here behind the scenes. I'm Kyle Dalton. We thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.